here with the one, the only, the lovely Miss Jo Fallak. And we are, of course, guested tonight, once again, by the talented Mr. Mike from Tales of Asperran.
Hello.
The lovely Liz Wilcox from Dimension Door Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
And the one, the only, Mr. James Schwartz.
Hi, guys.
And tonight, we bring you part 2 of a little game we like to Call of Cthulhu. The Devil's Grin. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks ago, on this very night, we decided to start The Devil's Grin, and we got about halfway through before we decided to save it for the future. Well, that time has come tonight, and we are going to have a great time playing through the horrors of, I guess, the Everett Manor, which is where you guys are headed as of last episode. But before we get to that, we have some awesome announcements. First and foremost, let's build up, actually. I want to say that if you haven't checked out our friends tonight, their podcasts, then you need to check out Tales of Asperran as well as the Dimension Door podcast. Dimension Door has just launched a second podcast, a horror storyline from the Pathfinder. What's the campaign that's called?
So that one is going to be Carrion Crown.
Carrion Crown.
Crown.
Carrion, as in carrion crawler. Got it.
Yeah, you got it.
So make sure to check out that, but also the OG Dimension Door, because nothing beats the OG Dimension Door.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the people that we're with tonight. Those are the cool people, right? And then Tales of Asperran as well. You guys are on what episode are you on right now?
We just dropped episode 36 of our main feed, and then our second show is up to almost, I think we're at episode 7.
Wow. So yeah, 2 shows from Mr. Mike here. So yeah, make sure you check them out. Great shows. They're often in our Discord posting in the podcast, as well as just everywhere else, because they're great people. Secondly, big news this past weekend, myself and Joe and James and Liz even helped out, and a number of other people all streamed for 24 hours for Extra Life 2020, which is this year, and we raised over $4,000. I am so humbled and impressed by the community support, the amount of effort that you all have put out. It is heartwarming. It is sincerely breathtaking, the amount of effort and attention and dedication that you have all given us, as well as your time and obviously some money. It has been, the outpouring is overwhelming. So a sincere and heartfelt thank you to each and every person, not just those who donated, because I know a lot of people can't, especially with the way the world is, but the people who donated their time, especially those who stayed with us for almost all 24 hours. I know Brianna and Michael Weber did all 24 hours. Zia did pretty much all 24 hours. There were a few others in there, and more people promising to do the entire 24 hours next year as well. It was, I think, the best one since our first one, and it's made me really excited for next year. I'm not excited to do hot ones again, but I'm ready to do it again for you guys. And I still have the chip in the background there. I can't see because it's all shadowy, which I am going to do because we passed $2,000.
You promise.
I know, I promise. I'm worried about it. But also, we're going to do other rewards, something for the 3,000 and 4,000 goals. So sit tight. We're thinking about what that could be. But sincerely, thank you to everybody. YouTube is acting like a fuck tonight, so maybe check out Twitch. That's
this
the thing.
is 18 plus.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Fuck. This is 18 plus. So make sure 18 plus. By the way, for our American guests, it is a Canadian term. It is what we kind of call rated R movies up here. We don't have traditional rated R. We say 18A. Okay. Just so you know. That's where it came from.
18, eh?
18, eh? But Twitch is clean, so check out Twitch. And if you again, there was a few people who complained about the audio last week, and we want to tell you, shut up, because you know what? We don't know what we're doing. We're doing our best, okay? Billy time. Deal with
Billy
it.
Time, motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah,
no,
motherfucker.
You're getting this for free.
You're getting this
Don't
for free.
complain.
Shut up. But sincerely, sorry. And, I'm not going to do anything about it. But that's where we're at. If you do want to chat, come over to the Discord and hang out. We're cool.
Mike, who is on the call with us, just asked chat.
Can I get a Twitch link? Mike.
You're right here.
It's the guy in the game, by the way, who just chatted. So who wants to give us a recap in character of last episode? Gertie, maybe? I mean, you don't have to do all the hits.
I do have notes in my sketchbook here.
Ooh, yeah.
We are investigating a mysterious death that has become multiple mysterious deaths. And I am most intrigued because it appears that this painting we found that is blazoned into my mind of a really, really creepy lady smiling, all in crimson, is killing people somehow. Most mysterious, I know. It started with... it's shocking. Started with poor Mr. Lowry of the Lowry House, who bought the painting. And then it turns out it also killed the poor woman who sourced the painting. And it's looking like it killed the painter too, probably. Dear Oliver Bright, whose loss was a loss to the whole of the painting world, let me tell you. So we're on our way to the late Oliver Bright's manor, which was also the late Lord Everett's manor before he went missing, and probably was killed by whatever influenced the painting that killed the painter, that killed the purchaser of the painting, that killed the next purchaser of the painting. And if everyone who looks at the painting dies, I might be next. So,
Very well done.
I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I like that in a thing. That was like Kaufman-esque almost. Gertie, I think you're the only person last episode that got inspiration or whatever.
She used it too, I think.
But you used it too.
I did.
I'm going to give it to you again for doing such a great recap.
Hey, Liz.
Can you tell who my favorite?
Well, here's the thing, because
Harlan
this
loves
is
a note taker.
Yeah.
I do too, and this is frequent. Like I'm like in the games that I run with Elizabeth, I'm always just like, all right, here's inspiration. Yeah, your notebook's amazing. I get it. Keep going. This is wonderful. She does. She takes the most thorough notes of any player I've known, which is awesome. That is a great trait for all of
true
you
love.
players out there that want to impress your GM. Take notes.
That and gifts.
And gifts.
Gifts as well.
Gifts. Always gifts. Cash money, baby.
Cash money.
And also moving images.
Yeah, gifts. Not GIFs. If you call them GIFs,
Get out of
get
town.
out of here.
Get out of here.
No one welcomes you. Perfect. So let's pick up where we left off. As I mentioned to the players, tonight's game might be a shorter one because this is, how things work. Deal with it. Look, look. If you got other things to do, no one's keeping you here. If you don't like the volume, if you don't like the length,
Please stay.
no one's worrying about you.
Please stay. We love you.
No, this is about having fun. We're having fun. Also, it's Remembrance Day. So hopefully everyone takes some time to remember today. Or as the Americans call it,
Veterans Day?
Veterans Day.
Yeah, sorry.
Veterans Day.
Rip.
In Canada, it's Remembrance Day. In the States, it's Veterans Day. Wherever you are, take a moment.
Think about people.
Think
Pour one
about
out.
those we lost. It is an important part of our history moving forward, and use that to the next few years. Think forward. Learn from past mistakes. Huh? Yeah, you know what I'm...
Pointed.
You know what I'm talking
Pointed
about.
commentary.
Ooh.
All right. Shall we do this?
Let's fucking do it.
Yes,
do it.
please.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Call of Cthulhu, The Devil's Grin, Part 2. The Everett Manor is about half a day's drive from Arkham and lies east of the small coastal town of Leary. Despite the oppressive heat, you arrive there in relative comfort, enjoying the sights and sounds of the Massachusetts summer. When you arrive at the off-turn towards the Everett Manor, however, the weather quickly changes, as if waiting for your arrival. The long, lone road toward the house winds back and forth, gradually climbing a steep hill as it does. The winding road overlooks farmlands and the coast, and sits relatively open to the surrounding area, much like the house itself. The manor sits at the top of this large mesa, these hills tucked in against a sea of other large hillsides, and yet, as you drive higher and higher, you begin to feel the isolation. As you reach the top of the dirt road, the sky cracks with thunder. and all at once it begins to darken. Despite the winding road growing thinner and thinner, it seems just wide enough for the trail of your car to turn at the last second, barely missing the large drop down to the road miles below. With a sigh of relief, you manage to make it to the top just as the first drops of rain begin to fall. The mansion sits in the center of this flat mesa, the surrounding area filled with tall grass and a number of small clusters of trees, a microforest of sorts. The house sits largely isolated from the world below, and as your car comes to a stop, through the fat, plotted raindrops, you see the manor. Its architecture, almost Victorian, but hints of bizarre, non-recognizable influences. The sharp corners and rounded windows seem almost natural in their approach, as if to mimic the curve of a snake's body. The facade of the building looms before you, almost on top of you, as the last bit of daylight disappears behind the large clouds overhead, and the rumble of thunder once again echoes across the valley far below. Billy, you are the taxi driver, and as you turn off the engine of the car, you turn to the others. What do you say?
All right, guys. I know it's been a long trip. Make sure you stretch your legs when you get out there. And also, sorry, I almost drove us off a cliff. But if you had any cabbie that was any less than I am, y'all be dead. And I'm grateful for you, and you should be grateful for me.
You did an amazing job, Billy. Just admirable. Thank you. I'm just ashamed that we didn't bring our umbrellas.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to rush inside. I don't want Gertie here walking out in the muck.
I mean, it would be a lovely, lovely vista to paint if it weren't so wet. You know, I catch cold right in my bones this time of year. Do you think the door... We have a key, right? Who has the key? I remember finding it on that poor dead lady.
Mike, you thumb around in your pocket to reveal a key.
I procure the key and half distracted. You hear, you get the cold right in your bones.
Yes, I feel it in my joints. You know, at my age, it's to be expected. But,
he's like nodding with recognition. Yeah, here's the key.
Thank you, Herb. If you would be so kind as to give me an arm, I would love some help so I don't slip in this mud.
Absolutely.
Thank you, dear.
The Arkham Trust exits the cab and heads towards the front entrance. Lily, Gertie, Billy, and Herb. Yes, you forgot that your name was Arkham Trust, didn't you? Thank God I took a note, because I
writing that down now.
As he takes a sip.
It's right there on my character sheet.
Oh, look at you.
Huh?
You and your notes, honey.
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at my notes and they ain't really helping.
They're just drawings
It's a lot of names without connections, which isn't helpful at all.
Ah, William Mann.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone's going to find Herb's notes later and think it's a hit list and that he's to blame.
Everyone's just crossed off. The entrance of this building is magnificent. I mean, I guess despite the heat outside, it almost seems welcoming as you enter, I suppose. Correct? Who goes first?
Correct. We enter.
I think
Indeed.
Lillian does first. She shakes these fat drops of rain off of her overcoat, and it's a chill in the air. Ooh. Well, this is a nice old place.
It like looms overhead. It's really like so nice.
Yeah,
it's the camera angle.
This place is spooky as hell.
Yeah, I'm with Herb on this one. Spooky as hell.
But can't you just imagine the kind of balls they must have held here once?
And the murders.
No,
It would make for a lovely party, I must say. Now, if you were a studio with something hidden under the floorboards, which direction do you think you would be in, eh? And Gertie
Well-
just looks around the house.
I mean, of course you would want the morning sunlight, right, Gertie? So
Right,
look
right.
east.
East-facing windows. That's what we're looking for.
So yeah, as you sort of enter and stand in the front hall, shaking the drops off, despite the nature of this house as you approach, its entryway seems relatively inviting and attractive. It's the same odd architecture that exists outside, but either it's less extreme or perhaps just updated. And Gertie, you said you head east?
Yeah, I'm looking along the east side of the house. So I guess if there's a corridor that looks like it's along the eastern wall, I will head there.
Yeah, and let's just make it easy and say you kind of know north is away from the front door.
She can sniff out paint from a mile
I mean,
away.
I have pretty good survival wilderness, so
Perfect.
I
You know what?
do the sensing of the.
Give me a roll anyway. Survival.
I roll for it.
Give me a roll.
There's-
like I'm playing a game with dice.
What?
There's no rule for
not on this.
smell. You can't do a smell check in
Smell
Call
of
of
paint.
Cthulhu.
All right.
Can I just do a paint check?
Sure, you can check the wall. Be like,
I want a spot hidden.
go for it. Everyone can roll. Just everyone roll. Just do it.
Here we
Okay,
go.
for whatever reason.
Let's play Dungeons and
Let's play Call of Cthulhu.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Oh no.
Oh, Lily, you see nothing.
I'm just
Or
thinking
you're
about
not doing
how
great
much
either.
how much nicer it would have been if I had had my debutante ball here.
Yeah, Lily, you just kind of get distracted. Herb, is that a success? I'm assuming no.
No.
Yeah, you kind of get into what Lily, you're like, whatever. You two do something. We'll come back to you in a second. But Gertie, is that a success?
That is indeed a success.
Yeah, great job. Yeah, you get this. It actually isn't like a straight up north, south, east, west, but no, somehow you still find north, and you immediately head east. And you guys just watch Gertie kind of walk off. With your 50%, James, how's your spot hidden?
Oh, no way.
So yeah, the three of you remark on something. What is it, Lily, that you bring to the other two boys' attention?
Oh, I'm just chatting about the banisters. Look at the patina. You know it's pronounced patina, right? On this old wood here. And the scroll work is immaculate. This thing must have been imported. And just, nattering on and on about, high class things to these two men who probably have no idea.
Oh God, no. Yeah, this is by 100% the most fanciest place I've ever lived in. You think this is what the White House is like?
Oh no, that's silly.
Well, their wall's white.
And we just, it's inconsequential.
Yeah, but Billy's sitting down, taking off his shoes or something.
we don't want to track mud in here, right, guys? I've been to hell before, and they hate the mud.
Bare ass feet too, just walking around.
Yeah, but Gertie, like a bloodhound, just starts walking down. And Gertie, you turn the corner here, and you notice that it's pretty barren, other than maybe large pieces of furniture that are sort of draped with white. And you immediately find this sort of hallway, but it's a pretty tight hallway. And as you head down, you notice the distinct outlines where paintings used to hang. And at the end of this long hallway, you see a single door that just seems to beckon you forward.
Oh, I've definitely found it, everyone. This door is absolutely, I would bet something on it. One of my paintings. I bet you my next landscape that this is the door, and Gertie just charges right on in.
Perfect.
She's ready.
Give me a dexterity roll.
Oh no.
Are we still? So just to clarify, are we still? I've somehow imagined this right outside the house. Have we already gotten up and in?
Yeah, I kind of pushed you in. Yeah, there was sort of a phase where people were saying different things, so you're just inside right now.
That's spooky.
And with Gertie's proclamation, I think we all sort of start to wander in the direction. We're not hot on our heels or anything.
No, Gertie, what is that? Is that a?
That's a 4. I got the most successful success
Holy
of any dexterity.
Yeah, so
Dirty
Gertie.
Gertie.
Fucking Mr. Magoo. Gertie's walking along, and the floorboards just start to, and she just sort of I don't know, maybe it's accidental, Gertie. I don't know. You can tell us after. But the floorboards give out in a way that still make it passable, but would definitely maybe have trapped and hurt your leg. But you're totally fine. So what happens exactly?
Gertie is accustomed to hiking out of doors and trying to scramble in odd terrain to get to good painting locations. So she feels the floor shift, and she remembers those days when she used to dance with Flora during their salons, and she just does a little bit of a twirl up next to the wall and is like, "Oh, careful, mind your step, dears. Tricky floorboard here."
Yeah. And it caves in right behind you. Your shawl like sort of does a little thing as you like
Looney
spin.
Tunes.
Yeah, very much so. Oh my god. And yeah, you're right in front of the door, and then you open it again. And as the three of you sort of approach to where she's going, you see this, like 4 broken floorboards in a space of maybe 6 wide. That it might not have killed her, but she is old, so who knows?
Gertie, what
I'm
happened?
frail.
Holy shit, kids.
Old houses, especially ones that may or may not be haunted by evil spirits. What's to be expected? Mind your step, for sure, dears. Now, into the door, it quite beckons to me.
And as you say haunted, you just hear the house go, ooh. But not really. You open the door to the painter's studio, and you hear the creak loudly as you open. The rain beats wildly on the outside of the manor. You hear the tapping of rain on the glass in this room. It's almost omnipresent as you enter. It becomes overwhelmingly loud, and you see this large window beyond the empty easel. In the corner, you see a well-worn couch, some blankets, some sweat-stained pillows crumpled up upon it. Again, this one sort of has a bit of a white sheet tapered over it as well, but it's been cast back a little bit. It's littered with used, discarded paint tubes, broken brushes, crusted, stained, and the floorboards creak as you enter. You feel like you're being watched.
Does it look like anyone has been in here for a while?
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna further, like, anything that indicates other people have been here.
Why don't you give me a psychology roll?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, that's not very high though.
You can do it. We believe in you.
I don't believe in me. Oof. We'll see.
Well, you just need to believe in the me that believes in you.
Throw.
I'm
Okay, let's see what we got
confused.
here. 71. That's my lucky number tonight. That is a failure.
Yeah, no, you sort of lean in and trip over the floorboards a little bit as you enter, and don't really get the impression of anything particularly poignant. Billy, I am imagining you're maybe last in the room.
Yeah, I believe so.
How does Billy enter?
Billy enters confident and knowing that this is the room with the squeaky floorboards, because he heard them when he was in the hallway. He was like, good, perfect. We know which board it is. And so he will immediately go to the floor and try and pry up a board.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Now I just need to establish: is it canon that Billy took off his shoes, or is that just a joke? I don't want to play a character. I just want to know if you did it.
Decision time.
Yeah.
If nobody stopped him, fuck yeah, he took off his shoes, man.
I think
gotta
Lily
go
did
with
say.
the fun character choice.
Did Lily say,
Yeah.
"Don't take off your shoes"? I can't remember.
No, that was Joe like cracking up
So
about
no
it.
one. So yeah, because he's kind of behind. So yeah,
I think it's awesome.
yeah, I think it's actually. You know what? It's actually going to be an advantage to walking across these boards, because while you know that there is something hidden beneath the floorboards because of the note that Nora Roberts left, you don't know which. And normally I would have you do a series of rolls here, but because Billy took off his shoes and is aware of this, you're actually sort of feeling around like for the really subtle squeak. You know, it's like taking your hands off to be really dexterous. You can feel the it's like tumbling. It's like picking a lock.
Yeah.
You can hear the tumble.
Yeah, you guys know that like a lot of cabbies have a really bad rep for having a lead foot, but the trick is to being a good cabbie, you want to have a feather foot, right? You need to feel the road beneath you. It's like a dance. You got to go nice and slow, and you got to know when to push it real hard and when to really let off of it. And I'm just saying that as I feel my way around, arms up, like.
And your
inching
feet,
forward
by the way,
with
are
my
like gorgeous. Your feet are
they're
like
immaculate.
they're model gorgeous.
It makes no sense.
No, and they're like
None.
it's like in The Naked Gun when it's so clearly like someone else as like Leslie Nielsen's flexing, and it's like this super almost like feminine, like really gorgeous feet when the camera cuts to your feet.
Really nice, beautiful, slender, tiny feet.
And the calves, and they're all shaved and like. Anyway, so yeah, you feel around, and you feel around with your toe, and you get the impression that the board beneath your foot could be lifted.
I would like to lift the board, please, Mr. Harlan, sir.
And you open it. As you reach down to grab what seems to be inside, Lily, what have you been doing?
Well, Lily is a journalist in training. She fancies herself as a bit of an investigator, and she remembers that Nora's note indicated that she had fallen asleep on this same couch. She spies it in the corner of the room, and she walks over. And I would like to put my hand down in the cracks between the cushions and toss the pillows. Just take a look, make sure that Nora didn't leave something here.
Clever girl. Go for it. Give me a spittin'.
I'll do it, and I'll do it proudly. Hey!
Critical.
That's the best spin I ever did. It is.
Interesting.
Nothing there.
Well,
You want there to be something there.
there is something there technically, but because of an extreme success you got previously in the previous episode, you have it would be redundant information. However, and this might be important since newspapers work like this, since there isn't one newspaper that exists, you actually find an article that you've already found. You found the Zachary Everett article, and I'm going to post that in the handouts once again so you know what you're doubling down on in a second. But again, it's something that was added in the newspaper as an extreme, and you guys just ended up getting it. So it was like a nice little bonus, but this is where it would be more likely for smart players to get it. But hey, you're doubly smart. But
let's say we got half of it, and then this is the other half.
Well, there you go. Look at you.
Ooh.
Brains of the op.
This is a perfect matching piece. Look here.
It's a perfect
Drawing.
Match. It's disgusting. Ugh. As Billy bends down and reaches, you've pulled out a small leather-bound diary. I have just posted Oliver Bright's diary for you. And I'll repost the article that you found the other half of, I guess. Why don't we first start with Lily, just to reiterate what the article... You don't have to read it, but you can summarize what this article that you just found reads again.
Yeah, so this is the article from 1856. Well-preserved, I might say. A little bit yellowed. Lord Zachary Everett, who was missing, was found... Nope. Was he found? Nope. Essentially that he was found to be missing... reported missing, I suppose they call it, and that Zachary Everett was known to spout the claim that true believers would know. The spider may devour the fly, but the snake can hide from the hawk. Many people thought it was utter nonsense. Don't you love when a synopsis is longer than the actual thing?
It's my favorite when you say it. Billy, you pull up this tiny little leather-bound diary. Why don't you read it for us, assuming you want to?
Yeah, Billy opens it right up. I can't believe I almost missed it. Since moving here, I've tried my best at painting. No matter the cost to my marriage, I have focused on my work to no avail. Night after night, week after week, I waste time in front of this canvas. It's the color. They're not right. I can't paint with this fucking cliche palette, and the nearest decent place to get more is over a day away, and I can't be driving back and forth every fucking day to get the right ones. With all of that, I can't believe I almost fucking missed it. It was in the cellar. I stashed my wine there so that fucking bitch won't say anything, and there on the dirt, on the earthen floor, was a shade of red I can't even describe. It was perfection. I've dulled all my old pigment stuff out, and I'm going to get the shade out tonight. I can hear you. I can hear you in my mind and in my heart. I can hear you in the walls in the cellar. I can see you reading this. I can see you standing there. The whispers. Do you hear them too, I wonder? The whispers, they come from the study, from the stench beyond the bookcase. Frankenstein's monster hides it, but the creaking is deafening. I should look. I do want to look, but it's not coming from it, and I'm so close to being done. I can't wait to show Margaret. I'll show her before she leaves. That's it.
Billy, great read. Give me, well, let's do that. You deserve that. Give me a sanity roll.
Hell yeah!
Uh-oh.
Where am I? What did I
47.
roll?
Is that below your sanity?
47. Where's my sanity? Yes, it is.
Perfect. So you don't
Billy
suffer
is
any.
real fucking sane.
Yeah. So you lose 1d6 still.
Cool.
But you didn't lose a really bad amount, and you don't hear any negative effects afterwards. You just sort of stand there in the calm cool of the room as you hear that tapping.
Okay.
Oh, look at that one. Look at that fucking
Billy's
pro.
a hero.
Yeah, Billy's a goddamn hero. Yeah, and you stand there, everyone around you. Gertie, what are you doing during this time?
Gertie is very much at home with all of these paints and remnants of paints, and she's going to do a bit of a spot hidden. She's just kind of puttering around the room, checking to see if there's anything that stands out to her in all of this debris.
Sure.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration for this spot hidden. So that I roll three d10s, right? I remember
Yeah,
this?
so you pick whichever one you want to be
Alright.
the second number, and whichever one you want to be the
Okay.
first.
All right.
And then it's the first number that gets to swap.
All right.
Perfect.
Oof.
So that's either a 92 or a 52 is the way I would read it.
I'll take the 52, which would be a success.
Nice. Yeah, as you look around, you don't find any major pieces of evidence, but you do get a bit of a story of what Oliver Bright was sort of tackling as Billy's sort of words are floating around. I sort of envision this happening at the same time. And you see a very angry painter. You see broken glass bottles in the corner. You see pieces of that same glass stuck into the wooden wall. You see paintbrushes broken and strewn about the floor. You get the impression that this was a very angry, passionate person to the point where it scares you. You've seen some troubled artists, but something that troubled Oliver Bright was beyond what you have seen in any other artist that you know.
I think Gertie just kind of remembers that painting that she saw and the sketch she made, and she thinks of that red, and she turns to Lillian and Herb and to Billy and says, "Do you think maybe there's still some of that wine in the cellar? I could use a tipple. Oh, this place, I tell you."
I mean, maybe that's the red he was talking about. Maybe it's wine. Wine could be red, right?
The red is clearly a pigment based from the. Ooh, I feel like my brain has thought it through. He's using the pigment from the clay on which this manor is built for his red. Perhaps something about the evil leaching out into that painting is actually the very earth beneath our feet right at this moment.
Chilling. And then also there's something in his note about the study, some kind of stench beyond the bookcase.
I'm most fascinated by that whole study, Frankenstein's monster hidden stench thing. We should find the study. Definitely.
Find the study, find the stench.
Indeed. Perhaps the wine too. We'll see what where it takes us.
Priorities and all that.
Where do you want to go first?
Herb, what's Herb doing during this?
I was about to cut in. So as she started talking about it and she said like something hidden in the study, my plan is to just slip away.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Perfect.
make my way in that direction to find it, because Herb has an obsession with secret rooms and levers. And when she said Frankenstein's monster hides it, he's like, book lever. I like
Perfect.
this.
Okay, so you go alone.
Bad
You
decision.
no, you're good. You're good. You continue. So, where are you going to the second story? Where are you going?
So I just to set the scene here, we're kind of looking into the painter's room.
Yeah, which is off to the east of this manor. It was down a long hallway from the main lobby. There were a few doors leading off. You didn't really pay much attention because you were all sort of following Gertie's intuition. But
I just want to check rooms.
yeah,
I don't really got an idea of where it would be, and I'm not rich enough to own a house this big, so I wouldn't even have an idea of
perfect. Yeah, so
knowing what it was.
you slip out. Why don't you give me a stealth just to make it interesting,
Yes.
just to see how.
Please don't be a 71. Rolled it 3 times already. 60. Oh, so close. I have a lot of luck. I'm going to use a little bit of. I don't have a lot of luck, but I'll use it now.
Go for
I only
it.
have 20, so now I'm down to 15.
Cool. Yeah.
Ooh.
But that'll give me a pass at
That's
55.
That's great. So everyone is really enthralled by Bill. I mean, everyone's also doing their own things. Everyone's listening to Billy's story. Gertie is looking around the room. Lily is finding the article in the
So
couch. Sorry, and you slip out unnoticed. And Herb, you enter down this long hallway that Gertie was walking down, and you head back to the main lobby. This area that sort of greets people. You notice there's a few doors, and assuming this is what you're doing, you're sort of just going to one door, maybe opening it, taking a peek, and you see a bathroom. You don't catch too much. You close the door. But the next door, which is sort of on the opposite wall, the west end, there's 2 doors here. As you open one to the... Sorry, there's 3 doors here, actually. One under the stairs that's leading up, and one right beside that, sort of in a kitty corner. And as you open that, you see this massive, sprawling library.
Ooh.
It seems to go up 2 floors. Do you take a look into this library?
1, yes. 2, I want to take a photo.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, well, let's do that reverse order. Let's say you take a photo first, and then you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because in case anything goes wrong.
Well, you never know.
never know.
Yeah, you know what? Give me a photography roll, because
Oh great.
the fuck, how often do we get to use photography rolls?
Well, I can't say it's going to succeed. I don't actually have points in that.
Well,
We remember
Remember
the
this last time.
photography roll.
you had your
Yeah.
lens cap.
It was
Nope.
yeah, no. So you're like, again, you forget to take. But I think this one, you don't even realize. You're like, but you don't realize you didn't take a photo because it's just the
Yeah.
caps on.
Wonder if like the exposure's all bad. My thumb was over the lens. Like something.
Yeah. The library is sprawling and massive. A countless number of books layer 2 floors with a winding staircase in the middle. Each story offers bay windows that look out onto the dark outside. Again, you hear that tapping of rain upon the windows. It sounds like pressure against the hull of a ship, breaking and pressing hard inwardly. This room unsettles you in a way, especially being alone. And as you stand in the foyer, as you enter this room a little bit, the door behind you shuts.
I look.
Yeah, and there's nothing behind you, but give me a listen roll.
I was about to ask for that because I wanted to see if I could hear creaking.
There you go.
What do we got? Ooh, why am I getting 70s
Yeah,
so much tonight?
you don't hear anything, but you are suddenly overcome with this sense that you are being surrounded by an unseen force. Give me a sanity roll.
Oh crap. Sanity. That is just a D100. I have to roll below my current.
Exactly.
Okay. Throw. My current is a wow. That's really high.
Yeah, you take 1d10 sanity.
Ooh.
You are, again, Herb, you are alone in this manor with no way to get home without these people. The door has shut behind you. I think very, you have this excitement, right? To find out what was here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think all of a sudden it's come crashing down. You feel that the pit of your stomach just drop as you realize, oh my God, I'm alone. No one knows I'm out of here, and no one can find me. And as you turn around, sort of panicked, you go to reach for the library doorknob, and it's locked.
I start banging on the door.
Gertie, Billy, and Lily, you are just finishing listening to the end of Billy's book being read.
I'm like hyperventilating. Help! Help!
I suppose I'll do a listen check to see if
Yeah.
I hear our poor friend down the hall. With my old age,
Yeah,
that
no,
is
you
going
don't-
to be a hard no. From
same for
Gertie.
me.
Yeah, no, you hear like, you sort of twitch your ears. You hear like a, and then you're a, which like just covers it up. You know, it's sort of like cinematic in the way where you think the people would hear it, but really just the audience hears it, and the people don't know any different. So that's.
Shall we go into the spooky basement?
Yes, I want to look at that earth down there. I'm also still very much interested in a bit of a fortifying beverage. My goodness, this house. That Everett, I can't believe anyone paid him for his architecture work. Have you seen this place? Most disturbing.
Yeah. Good drink sounds nice to me. Isn't that right, Herb? Herb?
Oh, goodness. Where's our photographer?
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wait,
maybe-
I have sound effects.
Lillian just clutches at Billy's arm. Where do you think he went?
He probably just went back to the entryway to take off his shoes.
Oh, yes.
Oh no!
Are you not wearing shoes, Billy?
No, he was
Yeah, of course
stoling
not.
the virtues
They were all
of...
muddy and stuff. I'm not tracking mud through a place this nice. I can't pay for the cleaning.
Plus,
Plus,
Let's
he has
let's-
such fine arches.
let's his feet are quite fine. I know many a painter who would happily have you pose. But let's go find Herb. I don't like the idea of him being alone in this dreadful place. Let's go. And Gertie like moves out as quickly as her frail bones allow, which is not super quickly, but you know.
Leap over the hole in the hallway.
Yeah, you all walk arm in arm.
Gertie up and
Ooh,
Oh.
pop her over.
Oh.
you're so strong, Billy. My
Your
goodness.
hero, baby. It's like starts playing as you guys like lock eyes for a second.
I don't know. I think Gertie's got something else going on.
She's got all of it going on. No, that wasn't romantic. That was just like,
Oh.
No,
Just a little
a
non-romantic
heroism.
Enrique Iglesias.
yeah. It was just, hey, there's no wrong time for Enrique. I don't know.
You know it.
Yeah, and you guys all walk out of the hall, sort of doing that awesome walk where like one person's foot goes in front of the others, and the other, you know what I mean, where you walk
yeah.
arm in arm, but you're like each of your legs is going in
Like
front.
the witches from Hocus Pocus.
Like the witches from Hocus Pocus. That's exactly the image I was trying to figure out, and I couldn't. I thought it was like, I don't
Don't worry
remember.
about it. I got you, babe.
I do want to do a quick shout out to one of our fans. Lucas is watching with Kim, and it is someone's birthday. His, I guess not his, but an older sister named Donna. Happy birthday, Donna.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Donna.
Yeah, just wanted to do that because he messaged me, and we want to, you know, say hi and be nice because we're so mean at the beginning. I was so mean at the beginning of the stream. Our recording volume is not good, eh? And yeah, you continue back towards the lobby, and I would imagine at this point you hear the banging.
What's that?
It's either a ghost, a monster, or Herb. I'm hoping Herb.
Anybody?
Herb!
I run
If it's-
over and I try the doorknob.
Is it really you, or is it something pretending to be you? What's the name of our investigative service?
Is that it? Arkham Trust, is that even a real question?
All right, someone save her. Billy, through the
feel like-
door.
I feel like
Go.
if someone was pretending to be me, they would know that information.
Look, I've never
So
been in this
basic.
situation before. I can't. But do you want Billy to save you?
You're
or
like
not?
talking on the other side of the door. I've never been here. It's good.
Yes, please. He says dejected.
Yeah, Herb, you've been trying this door for a while, and you sort of realize through rolls that aren't necessary off camera, but that it's not necessarily locked, but it's just jammed in sort of the door frame.
Because I do have a lock. I do have locks, like a pretty high lock.
No, this is just fun scene setting stuff. And you Billy on the other side of the door between the two of you, you can do a strength roll and try to just unjam it.
All right, Herb, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I run into the door at the same time he does, so it doesn't. I don't think I really do anything.
Yeah, I got a 91. That's bad.
Yeah, so both of you push. So
Yeah,
you're like both pushing in.
Wait, you push. I put. Yeah.
All right, I push, you pull. Wait,
Yeah.
which way does this door go? We should have checked that first.
I don't remember.
All right.
Can I try to
why did I roll
psychology it?
94?
No, so now you both pull.
Yeah.
You're both, like, pulling on the door.
Look, all right. The door's jammed. If there's another way in, I found the study. Good news. Bad news. It's creepy as hell.
Is there another way in, Herb? Do you see another door anywhere?
That's a good question. Can I look around?
Absolutely. You
yeah.
have been so focused on the terror that you feel, and you do feel the terror as you enter this. I mean, again, just to make sure you're aware that like everything's dark. You know, there's no like lights on. You're walking into this dark area in this dark manner, and this actually isn't. I mean, it could be the study, but what you do see is tons of books. This is most definitely what you would describe as a library. Now, oftentimes those can be one and the same. You're not too sure. However, this most definitely does have a second story. And as you enter into the library and see this winding middle staircase, you look up to the second story and you do see and imagine that it would connect to the second story as well of the main house.
I'm just going to kind of yell this towards the door. There's a second story. I mean, it's a pretty big library. I would call it a study, but it might not be true.
No, it's definitely not a study. I know everything about big houses.
Well, should we go upstairs and see if the door up there is a little bit more amenable to opening and closing? Preferably the opening part? Everyone, meet upstairs, yes? Okay.
I think that's a good idea. Are there any lights in here that I can see that I might be able to, like...
Yeah, the
turn
power
on, or,
of the
like,
building
candles
seems...
with lighters?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's do some like wall sconces. I mean,
Yeah.
why not? That sounds
Because,
creepy.
like, a part of me wanted to do the flashbulb photo, and I know that will scare me and I will die.
Yeah, too spooky. But you most definitely take out a shaky lighter and try to light some of the wall sconces.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm going to say you light a few, but most importantly, you find like a candle on one of the small tables in the library. And you sort of pick it up and light it.
Score.
And Herb, you ascend the spiral staircase in the center of this library, sort of cupping the flame as you take step by step higher. Again, the windows that are facing out, every once in a while, are just illuminated with a bright flash as this flame sort of dances with each sputter of your nervous breath as you ascend to the second story.
I think to play on the nervousness, can I do a spot hidden as I'm coming out? Because I felt like I was being watched.
Absolutely.
Or like, right?
Yeah, please. Ooh.
Was that a 6, I
That's
guess?
a 6. It's very, very good.
Yeah, that definitely passes.
Yeah, you...
Oh, that's below the second number, or the lower number, too.
Yeah, so that's an extreme. So, yeah, you're for a moment, you just sort of cup this flame and your eyes adjust to the darkness. And you can make out what almost seem to be faces in the books. You know, though, your eyes are playing tricks on you. You can tell that whatever darkness envelops this library is only one to cause madness in the faint of heart, which you are not in this moment. You catch your nerves and steel your will, and as you study, you notice large Roman numerals attributed to sections of this library, but they're only really, you can only sort of catch them through the flashes of lightning outside. Mm-hmm. You can tell now with sort of a flashlight they would probably be lost. So you see that the room is divided into 8 sections on each floor, and as you sort of want to get a closer look at the images. You go to blow out the candle just to get a moment of darkness. Your mind sort of flickers away from the light entirely, and then just before you can blow, the light goes out. And you feel this breath upon you. Give me a sanity roll.
Oh, crap.
Oh, Herb.
I made a terrible mistake, and I'm going to pay for it. I have to roll above a 53?
Yeah.
Or below a 53?
Below 50.
85!
Yeah, no, you took 1d6 sanity.
You guys are going to find me with a big old grin.
Oh,
And you feel like you can almost feel this breath blow upon you. And for a moment, you feel like it could only be the spittle. And as you shake nervously, you look up and you see just this drip from the ceiling, sort of just from the rain outside. And you shake your mind thinking that it must have been that. And you go to light the wick. Meanwhile, Gertie, Lily, and Billy, you ascend to the second story, and it makes you feel uneasy. The hallways, again stripped of the paintings that once hung, offer shadowy outlines of that which was once there. The rattling storm outside contrasts the silence of the manor in a way that makes each step you take feel loud enough to wake the dead. You reach the second story, however, and see a long hallway that shoots to the east and west wing of the house. The deep red carpet lines both halls, but stretch off into darkness, away from the lightning that intermittently lights the stairwell. And I'm assuming you head west.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you are greeted by a small door, and you open it to see Herb standing there, nervously trying to light the wick on his wet candle. And the four of you are reunited once again.
I think as the door opens, you can clearly hear my breathing is heavy, and I just drop it on the ground because I'm so freaked out.
Oh,
Herb.
Herb.
Oh,
Shit, Ed.
Oh, it's you. Oh,
What-
man. It's
what
you. Thank
happened?
you.
You look awful.
Don't. We need to stay together. After the... I don't even know how to begin to describe it. Felt like something was breathing on me. I went to blow out my candle, and it blew out on its own. And then I felt like something was breathing down my neck, and then I was just surrounded. His eyes are like bugging out of his head, and he's like visibly shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Lily
oh,
kind
Herb,
of-
that's awful. And Gertie just kind of goes over and puts a little frail arm around his waist. Let's get you out of this library and find the study, dear.
Yeah,
Stay close.
Billy will pull out a cigarette and light it and just hand it to Herb.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
here, man. You just take a moment, man.
Help with the nerves, I guess. Out of this room.
Lillian stoops
least for
and
a
picks
moment.
up the candle and lights it where he had dropped it before.
Yeah, and you try to, but it's wet. Like, for some reason, it seems like it's been wet.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I leave it.
Because you lost so much sanity, Mike, I'm going to give you an affliction, which happens in Call of Cthulhu, but I use them very loosely, and I like it at this point. And I'm going to give you, probably not the proper name for it, but we're going to call it paranoia, where you cannot be alone from anyone else. And if you do, I'm going to make you do mandatory sanity rolls.
Ooh, okay.
So just
I love
being
this.
alone at this point would cause you to have to do a sanity roll. And this is a mechanic that Call of Cthulhu does enforce, but there's more strict rules. But I like it this way, so fuck them. We're going to do this. So yeah, the four of you are reunited in the second story of this manor. Lily.
Yeah, as Herb is gathering his wits and smoking some of that cigarette, Lily's gonna pace a little bit out into the darkness of the hallway, running her hand along this peeling wallpaper where the paintings used to hang, until she comes to the next door, one that she hopes would be the study. She tries to open it.
So on this west side of the manor, on the second story, you do see sort of a large area, and as you turn the knob, the door swings open to what you would imagine is the master's study.
Oh, this could be it. This could very well be it. Oh, it's quite lovely.
Good job, Lillian. Come on, Herb. Come on, Billy. Let's go. Let's not keep Miss Danes alone, you know. And Gertie just kind of shuffles forward with the two men.
Does anyone else have flashlights, or what's the lighting situation like?
God, we came poorly and just unprepared.
That was my fault. We sort of pushed the ending of last episode, so I'm happy to sort of give you whatever makes sense.
I think Gertie's old-fashioned. She has a oil lantern. She needs the extra turpentine
like
for her paint anyway.
Yeah, like one of
And
those.
so and when I say she has, I mean Billy's carrying it in her painting kit.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Billy, I think it's time for that lantern, if you would.
Right away, Gertie. Right away. And Billy opens up her painting kit. And there's a couple tubes of paint that have kind of fallen out of place, and he quickly just like puts them back and makes sure the color code's all right. And then he pulls out the little lantern and stuff, and he takes his lighter and he
and the
points
light
on, adjusts the oil a little bit.
The light fills the room and casts stark shadows against some of the objects. This is a study, all right, and you can almost feel the ego of the person who designed it. The large wingback chair is a deep, rich green. It sits tightly against an ebony desk, both too large to fit out, obviously not sold in the estate because of. Tall bookshelves line the walls, tightly framing the window at the end of the room. Despite the grandiose nature of the room, it looks dust-covered and largely unused. Additionally, I am going to allow Zia to donate XP to Mike. Mike, you can have XP now, which in this game I will use, I mean, similarly to what I've given Gertie for just being awesome, but Zia has donated that. So, and just as a quick note, what we used to do every Wednesday is the community would get XP for doing certain things, and then they could spend XP for playing the game, and I loved it. But it is a tough thing to track and sort of validate. So who knows? Maybe we'll bring it back.
We know that Zia's got a ton
But we know that
stashed
Zia
away
has a ton
somewhere.
because she's been around for years.
Thank you very much. I hope for both our sakes that Herb does not die so soon.
You're going to do
Zia
great.
MVP.
MVP. Well, actually, MVP was something we used to reward to a community member, and that's one of the ways they got
That's
XP.
how they
So.
would get XP.
So she can't win it by donating it. Anyway, yeah, you are in the study.
Well, Billy will kind of go over to the bookcases, and can I tell if they're organized in a certain way?
Yeah, they all look pretty organized.
Okay.
They're not sitting out of any order or anything like that.
Hey, Gertie, Lily, who wrote Frankenstein? It was Mary what's-a-face, right? Mary Shellfish?
Shelley, dear.
Shelley. Mary Shelley.
Yes.
Is that CH or SH or
With an S.
with an S? All right. And I'm going to start trying to look for Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah, you take a look around and you notice it sitting sort of in a series of other odd-looking books, all sort of more popular fiction around this time. It strikes you as odd because it doesn't look particularly old. They look more modern pieces, despite the dust-covered nature of the room. But yeah, you find a big copy of that along with a few other books sitting side by side. But that one seems especially large.
That was one of the things in the diary, right? Frankenstein's monster hides it.
Yes,
I mean-
does anyone smell anything possibly stinky? You might call it a stench. And Gertie's going to sniff about the bookshelf.
Yeah,
my
you
God.
are. Give me a smell roll.
Spot
a smell
smell.
roll.
Spot smell. Let's call it. Let's just do listen because it's sort of the same.
In what world?
I mean, it's the same, different.
Listen in with your nose.
Okay, Gertie, you fuck up. So Gertie, you smell
used too
burning
much
toast.
Turpentine. It's just it sears the nostrils. I couldn't say.
Yeah. No, you're certain you smell something back out in the hall. You're like, oh yeah.
It could be the oil lamp, but something smells off in here. Or out there somewhere.
You look to Herb.
I put out the cigarette.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can I listen smell?
You can listen if you'd like.
Here I go. No. No.
Oh wait, so I rolled for it,
Yeah.
and I am only off by 3. So I will spend luck.
Yeah.
This
Do
is the first
it.
time it's been close enough.
Do it.
So I
do
will go
it.
ahead and I will burn 3 of my
To make
luck
your listen roll, was it?
to make my listen roll. Yeah.
Yeah, so you stand next to this tome of Frankenstein, this sort of newer looking book, and you give a listen, and you do hear something. It sounds almost like a creaking.
Okay. Is the creaking coming from the book?
It's coming from beyond the book.
Beyond the book. Fuck my mind. Okay. The book's creaking, but it's not. Hey guys, the Mary Shelley, her book's here. It's real big and looks real new compared to the rest of this shit.
Oh, a whole shelf of pop fiction, eh? And Gertie just takes the copy of Frankenstein off the shelf, because why not?
Yeah, and as you do, you see something behind it, Billy. It's like Gertie sort of takes it off, and she looks down. And behind it, carved into the back wall of this bookshelf, you see a image of a lion.
I knew it was gonna be some fucking animal.
There's a lion behind this book.
Lion.
I'm sorry, did you say there's a line behind the
A
book?
line. Yeah, a line. No, a lion. A line, Gertie. A line.
Could someone translate Billy for me? My ears aren't what they used to be.
You know, them big cats, and they go that hay stuff are all around them. They will go all poofy, like some like a boa, like a cat wearing a boa. It's real big.
Did you just say hay stuff? It's called a mane.
Yeah, mane. It's a big cat with a mane.
Like the state.
Yeah,
Well-
like that state up north.
I quite hate to break it to you all, but a lion is not Frankenstein's monster. That's a person. So we must be in the wrong place altogether.
No, what was that? What was that? The words about something in a snake. What was it?
Oh
Yes.
yes. Lillian, you remember that article you found?
The spider may
yes.
devour the fly, but the snake can hide from the hawk. No
Oh
mention
yeah,
of a
there's
lion.
no lion in there, Billy. That was most foolish of you.
Lillian
I
walks
don't-
forward and starts pulling a few more books off of the
Yeah,
shelf.
and as you pull the books off aside,
Yeah,
what you see is the entire bookshelf that Frankenstein sat upon, all the books pulled out. Engraved in the back are a series of images: a spider, a crow, a beetle, a fly, a mongoose, a lion, a fish, a hawk, and a snake. They're all sort of lined up, carved in, and beneath each one, sort of a ring-sized hole.
Is there anything in any of the holes right now, or are they all
You can try
empty?
to reach in,
Oh, it's ring sized. So like you
like
could put
finger
your
sized.
finger in there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm not one for putting my fingers in strange holes. I save those for the familiar ones, if you know what I mean. And Gertie gives a little wink.
Dirty Gertie. I
Winks
like
at
it.
Lily.
That was unexpected. All right.
Spider may fly, but the snake can hide from the hawk.
What are all of the animals again?
Spider, crow, beetle, fly, mongoose, lion, fish, hawk, snake, and cat.
Are they all carnivores?
Spider, crow, beetle, fly, mongoose, lion, fish, hawk, snake, cat.
The rhyme talks about spider, fly, and snake and hawk.
The spider may devour the fly. The snake can hide from the hawk. Is it just like an order thing? Like, but then what order? Fly, spider, spider, fly, snake, hawk. Ooh, I
Billy
think those four.
Billy pulls out the diary and he's just gonna flip through it. I say as I look through the diary entry again.
Yeah. Why don't you read it out loud for us?
All right. I can't believe I almost missed it. Since moving here, I've tried my best at painting. No matter the cost to my marriage, I have focused on my work to no avail. Night after night, week after week, I waste my time in front of this canvas. It's color. They're not right. I can't paint with this fucking cliche palette, and the nearest decent place to get more is over a day away, and I can't be driving back and forth every fucking day to get the right ones. With all of that, I can't believe I almost fucking missed it. I was in the cellar. I stashed my wine there so that fucking bitch won't say anything, and there on the dirt, on the earthen floor, was shade of red I can't even describe. It was perfection. I pulled all my old pigment stuff out, and I'm going to get the shade out tonight. I can hear you. I can hear you in my mind and in my heart. I can hear you in all the walls and in the cellar. I can see you reading this. I can see you standing there. The whispers, do you hear them too, I wonder? The whispers. They come from the study, from the stench beyond the bookcase. Frankenstein's monster hides it. But the creaking is deafening. I should look. I do not want to look, but it's not coming from it, and I'm so close to being done. I can't wait to show Margaret. I'll show her before she leaves.
As he was reading that, anyone paying attention would have noticed that I can hear you in the walls, and I can see you reading this. Herb would have like taken a couple steps away from the bookcase, like distance himself from it.
Cool.
I think Gertie's still a little confused, and she's going to flip through the book she's still holding, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Is there something hidden in the book, maybe?
Yeah, you flip through it. There's
we
nothing.
can poke into these holes in the wall.
But Gertie finds whatever she wants to find there, but it's nothing pertaining to what's before you.
This is a lovely signed copy, though. I shall pocket it.
So I don't know if this is just James being James and trying to figure out puzzles and looking for everything under the sun. But it looks like some of the letters in here are a bit darker, a bit bolder than the others.
I think...
And I've never played with Harlan, so I don't know if this is something he would intentionally do or not.
Nah, I wouldn't say overthink it.
Okay, cool.
All right.
But
A voice echoes from the sky.
but you're not
Don't
but you're
worry.
not wrong in that, because I've absolutely had really puzzles like that, with like
Those are the
13
best.
ciphers
Those are
and
the
shit.
best fucking puzzles.
Bro, you don't even know what you're in for.
I'm so excited!
But not this one.
I'm far too old to have patience for whatever weird puzzles happening here. And Gertie pulls a paintbrush out of one of her pockets. She has many on her. And she just kind of pokes in one of the holes
jamming.
with a paintbrush. She picks the fly. She's like, I'm going to just investigate here.
Oh, we're
And
all
she-
gonna fucking die.
She
The
pokes.
fly?
I mean, it's one of the things that stood out. She's old. She's just trying.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, you put the paintbrush in and you feel it's got the tiniest bit of give, sort of like a lock, but something is preventing it from being pushed in any further.
I think this is the wrong one, but there's definitely something going. Herb, you're good with mechanisms, right? Like, not necessarily your camera, but locks maybe.
Hey, Gertie, I know you're an artist and everything, but why
That
you
was the
gotta
low
hop
blow.
on Herb like that?
No, I'm saying he's talented, just not necessarily at some. We
I'll
all
look
find
I'll
our
look at the
niche.
lock.
Herb,
Here, have this paintbrush.
Herb, when you were stark raving mad about the library and you mentioned those Roman numerals to us, which you definitely did,
Yes.
did you see any other kinds of inscriptions in the library? You said there were 8 Roman numerals?
Yes, each for a section of the
And
each
are
for
there
a section
8
of the
animals
library.
here?
There's no connection with the library.
Man.
That's just it's just like when you're walking through a library and they're like, this is section 1, nonfiction, section 2. They were just like denoted which sections of the
I'm
library.
going full like Resident Evil on this. Like, okay, well,
Right,
section
right.
1 is going to be the snake one, and section
Yeah,
2.
no, you guys
I
are
mean-
overthinking it.
Herb, why
I
don't
don't-
you just give the lion a poke? It was technically behind Frankenstein. You know, tickle the old cat and whatnot.
Which
Gertie.
I'm looking at the Gertie cheese. That was a good one though. I'm curious. There's a part of me that like I want to try to poke the spider first because that's what the thing in the article
Sure.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I'll take the paintbrush and just poke it in there.
No, doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
You touch the paintbrush, and there's a little bit of give, but something is preventing it from going. And you can always roll an idea if you want a little bit of a guidance.
I want to smell them all first.
I was
See if
thinking,
they all
like,
smell
I was
the
thinking
same.
like a locksmith check to like
Sure, give me a locksmith
get an
check.
idea of
Yeah.
maybe something that could be stopping the mechanism.
Definitely.
Just take a hammer to your puzzle.
No, you
I'm
can
kidding.
do whatever you want, and you can smell if
50.
you want.
39. Hey, that's a pass.
Perfect. Yeah, Herb, you get up and you look, and you sort of look inside one. What you see is almost like a button, but rather than having, and I'm talking about like a shirt button, but rather than having 4 holes, it has 1 hole in the center with something sort of deeper in. It's a bizarre sight you've never quite seen before, but it does almost look like a tumbler. But it doesn't look like it's sized for a paintbrush. It looks like it's sized for a human finger.
All right, I have some news. I don't think you'll like it. So, push a key through a lock. The metal of the key hits certain tumblers as it, does its thing. Unfortunately, this tumbler looks like it is sized for a person's finger.
So poke it. Right?
You first.
I mean, my hands are my livelihood. You know, I
Oh, well, let's see. Your hands, you do painting, and you take photos, and you're a rider. So I'm a driver. So you use your hands, and you use your hands, and you use your hands, and I use my feet. And when he says that, like
He
leg
puts his
just comes
toe
up,
in the-
and it's just
no.
it's the wonderful, like, beautifully shaven, dainty leg. It just comes up like straight like this next to him, and he's like, and I use my feet, and then it goes back down real slowly.
Scratches his nose before going back to him.
So Billy will take one for the team, and he turns to you all and he says, "So am I starting with the lion, or am I starting with the spider?"
Hold on 1 second. Before he does that, can I do a listen to see if the creaking is more noticeable?
No, it's
Between
about the
any of the
same.
buttons.
Well, I would no. The creaking is identical. It seems to be on the bookshelf. I won't make it
Okay,
for that.
so the creaking's from
could I do something like an intelligence check to
Absolutely.
see if Gertie knows which should be tried first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds
All
like
right.
more than a finger.
I love the idea of a finger-shaped lock.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a success. I have
Yeah,
an intelligence of 85. So.
perfect. Yeah, you take a look at the article again, the one that you found the other half of in the sofa downstairs, and the words sort of ring out to you as you read it. The spider devours the fly, the snake devours the hawk, and based on how hidden this bookshelf was and how obscure that phrase would have been without being in this exact spot, you sort of surmise that the riddle is as simple as just that order. And you kind of get the impression that it's being where you're at that's the difficult part. However, the way he speaks about this, there might be a cost associated with this secret.
So I would be quite careful, Billy. We're all here. Does anyone have a first aid kit just in case? I think my bag has something.
Yeah,
We'll
for
be
sure.
fine.
You got little band-aids.
But I would
Spider-Man
give
Band-Aid.
a little bit of a poke to the spider, then the fly, and then the snake, and then the hawk.
Alright. And Billy sticks his finger in and he goes spider, fly, snake, hawk.
Yeah. And as you stick your finger into spider, you feel the button that the paintbrush has been touching, and you feel that it has to go in further. But the paintbrush was touching that center hole, and as you push, a needle drives into your fingertip from the center of that button. And searing pain shoots down your arm. But you hear a clunk. Clunk. The first button has been pressed correctly, and now it's correct. It's been pressed down. However, your finger is stuck.
It's stuck?
You now have 9 more to figure out the rest.
I mean, can I reach all the other ones with the rest of my
I'm going to say you can reach maybe 1 more with another hand, but this, and you can feel the blood sort of dripping down inside behind the bookcase. But yeah, that hand is sort of occupied now, and you take 1 point of damage, by the way.
As he reaches, I'm gonna grab him, grab his hand. You help me, I'll help you. The next one was what? Spider eats the
Fly.
Spider,
Fly?
that was the fly, yeah.
I will put my pinky finger in the fly.
Yeah, and same thing. You feel it being correct because the button gets pressed down, but you have to. It's almost like you have to ram the needle into your finger to get it to click. It's driving right through the center of this thing, and as the searing pain shoots down again, you take a point of health, but you hear that other click.
I suppose it's only fair if I help out as well. And Lillian puts a manicured fingernail clink into the snake.
Again, you have to push it, and as you shove it in, the needle drives into your finger and
goes like underneath the nail.
Yeah, like separates the nail from the skin.
Well, I'm too old for peer pressure, but also too old
Billy
to
puts
let
his
you
other
all
finger
do
in.
this. No, it's okay, Billy.
No, Billy is not going to let Gertie do this. Hell
Dexterity
no.
roll. Dexterity challenge.
Nice guy,
Each of
Billy.
you roll dexterity. We're looking for the
Gertie
higher
is
success.
insanely fast.
Yeah, Gertie's fast.
So it's whoever did the higher success. If either of you succeeded.
I will burn 3 luck to make it a success.
Oh, I was about to say I was going to burn luck to make it a success.
Well, he said it first, and you don't want to double
You did.
burn success.
That's
so
fine. That's fine.
you push her out of the way, and you shove your other finger
She
in.
falls
You
on the
take
floor.
another. You push her.
Ooh,
You take
my
another.
hip.
I'm taking so much more damage now. This was not worth it. You shove your last finger in. Again, you drive it, and you take another hit point, and you hear that clunk, however. And just as you do, you hear something sort of fall, and then an even louder sort of hollow clunk. And the bookshelf springs half an inch forward. And you're all released.
What's back there?
All of a sudden, the creaking is louder. It's now audible, away from the thick bookshelf. You hear this through the slit that is open through this bookshelf.
I take a step back behind somebody else.
Gertie stands bravely in front of you with the lantern in her small little hand. All right. We came this far. I shall proceed. I'm old, so it's only fitting that I lead the way. And Gertie holds the lantern up and kind of waves it towards the darkness.
And Billy slaps her out of the way. No, yeah.
Billy time.
It's Billy time. Yeah,
Fuck
but
Gertie.
Billy does open the door. Pulling it, you hear the wood of the shelf grinding across the floor as it swings open. As the bookcase fully opens and the flickering of your torch dance into the secret area beyond, you do suddenly an
Did anybody else lose Harlan?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I sure did. I was
Yeah.
about to ask.
Yeah. You're
I
gone,
love
buddy.
you.
I thought it was just me. I was like, what did I do?
I was checking all my settings.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. It's wonderful to have you. Once again, my name is Billy the Cabbie, and I am currently here with my friends Gutty and Ub. And welcome to the Gutty Billy moment in which we all get to take a second and talk about how Gutty. Why the hell were you trying to put your finger in there? I just went over this.
She just wanted to.
You need your hand.
She wanted to save you. And
I
she
felt
practically
left
did.
out.
All right, you guys can hear us again, right?
Yes, we can.
It's great.
Cool. All right. I don't remember where I left off, so I'm just going to do it again. You hear a hollow clunk, and the bookshelf springs forward half an inch, pulling at Billy. You hear the wood of the shelf grinding across the floor as it swings open. As the bookcase opens fully, and the flickering of your torch dances into the secret area, you immediately are overwhelmed with the stench. The thick shelves of books had expertly covered the undeniable stench of death. And from the darkness of the small hidden room, you see the hanging feet of a decimated corpse, hanging from the rafters. As the rain beats against the side of the house, the wind softly rocking the manor, you see the body sway, the ancient rope creaking as it does. A lantern sits at its feet. Everyone roll sanity.
Yes, please.
Oh, crap.
Hey.
Hey, I'm great.
I'm also wonderful.
Perfect.
I am
Everyone
most definitely not okay.
everyone who succeeded takes 1d4 sanity. Everyone who failed takes 1d10 sanity.
So if I roll exactly what my sanity is that a pass or is that a fail?
I don't know. You decide. I trust you. I don't remember.
I feel like
Billy-
it might not be the first time Herb has seen a body, so
That's fair.
Billy is doing great with these sanity rolls.
Yeah. Just do it. Just took like one there.
Yeah, same on my other one. I've only taken one so far.
Perfect. Yeah, so you see this small secret nook, and it's very occult laden. The books in this area are all completely black and sort of devoid of any sort of markings. There are there's a long table here, sort of that someone would sit at and make writings and stuff, but it's a pretty small little nook. And again, there's a body hung there. There is a table, and you see a book sitting on top of it, as well as something very odd sitting in the center of the table that you can't quite discern from the darkness.
I think Gertie's the most shaken of everyone by the body. So the lantern she's holding kind of starts to swing a little wildly, and she leans against the table and is like, oh my, who's hanging there? Anyone, any identifying? Oh, and she just kind of looks away and takes 2 sanity damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, I also took 2 sanity damage.
Twosies.
Twosies.
I think sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Go ahead.
that's okay.
I was gonna say I think seeing her kind of real because Herb wasn't. I passed, so Herb is probably gonna take the lantern and kind of step in front of her, and
Nice.
like motion it up forward to see if we can see better.
Yeah. And again, you sort of raise it a little higher. You see the feet, this corpse that's all puckered and dry with time. And this table, you sort of get a good glimpse, Herb, as you're the one sort of looking at it. Give me a roll. You can't really understand what this is at first. Are you entering the room?
Mike wants to say no, but if Herb passed the sanity check and he's got everybody standing behind him, I think he might.
Yeah, okay. When you walk into the death chamber, when you walk into the room, you feel the floorboards sort of like give a little bit of weight beneath you. This is an old part of the house, probably one of the first ones that's been built. And you step up to the table. Give me I don't even know how you would describe this. Give me maybe an occult roll.
Ooh, I can guarantee I don't have that. Oh, I have a 5%. I have a 5.
You got it, Eb. You got it.
Huh. What do we got? 70. That's my lucky number tonight.
Yeah, no, this looks like sort of a large, dried, decimated tentacle it's sort of curly, and you see all over it has small, like, sucker circles.
Like an octopus?
It's similar, yeah, but large. It's maybe about, a foot across and thick. You've never seen anything like it. Give me a sanity roll.
Yep. That's way above my sanity.
What's your sanity at?
49.
Yeah. Give me a. Is this fail?
Yes, that's fail.
Yeah, give me a 1d10, bud.
Oof.
This is the weirdest thing you've ever seen. Like, this is beyond.
How much do I roll? Below an 8. Oof, oh man, I'm rolling hot today.
Yeah, you back right up to the corner. Billy, you see the light sort of fade away from this table as Herb backs himself up.
Yeah, you all right, Eb? Everything okay, buddy?
So it says some kind of giant calamari thing hanging in the closet.
Oh, okay, cool.
As big as I am.
That's terrifying. Anybody know what Zachary Everett looks like? Could this be him?
I
really hope he didn't look like that.
I think if I recognized in life, which I wouldn't, that I wouldn't recognize now. It's a good question. Do you want to look closer, Billy? I will look at the less scary.
Leave him hanging, can we? I mean, we should take him down at least. I mean, that's respectful, right?
Well, maybe that's something we should leave for the police.
Yes, that's right, Billy. Already dead.
Yeah.
I mean, we could maybe look and see if he's got anything in his pockets.
Yeah,
yes.
All right, I'll check his pockets. Oh, fuck, man, this is gross. All right.
You take a look at this corpse to see that it's not actually wearing pants. It's wearing like ceremonial robes.
Oh, I thought you meant he was naked.
He's just he's hanging dong. And
just a big old floppy tentacle dong.
Dried dong. And Lily, as you're sort of looking around the room, you notice, again, there's this book on the table, sort of left. It's half open almost.
She walks over, and having seen Herb's reaction to this thing on the table, she sort of casts her eyes away a little bit, like as if she's trying to protect herself from a horror movie. She's too afraid. But she sneaks an arm out and picks up the book.
Yeah, and I'm uploading it now to the handouts.
Ooh, I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
But yeah, Billy, you don't see anything really on the
robed corpse.
No. And why don't you read that out for us, Lily?
I get closer to Herb where he stands shaking with the lantern and read by lantern light. I must be quick as I feel my mind slipping away from me. Master Everett was insistent that the ritual commence. It was not enough to worship it, to be one with it. We must witness. Theodore was hesitant, like myself, but we continued nonetheless. In the ritual chamber we read from the texts, and the gateway was opened. For one brief instant we basked in its light. I could see the forest of 1,000 young, smell the bedrock, hear their glorious cry, but the moment was lost in an instant. It was angry, its arms long and tendril, like that of a creature from the sea, broke through. They wrapped around the head of Calvin and squeezed until his head burst open like a fruit in the palm of some enormous beast. The blood painted the floor, and before his body fell the creature extended more squid-like limbs that reached for us all. Malek's arms were torn clean, as his warbling screams filled the chamber. All the while, Master Everett continued to read, widening the hole until I saw its face. It was though I were looking into the face of God. My eyes burned and my mouth filled with blood. I saw my death amongst the trees, and in my fear I ran. I ran as the creature's tentacles licked the heel of my boot. As I ran, I witnessed Zachary Everett laughing as the creature lifted him, almost as a human would a pet, and bring him through the open gateway. I pushed through the door, and behind me Theodore followed. He closed the wooden door behind him and for a moment caught his breath, but the moment was too long. The creature's tendrils broke the door into 1,000 pieces and wrapped Theodore before my eyes. He begged me through gasps of air as his lungs filled with blood to help him, but the creature tore deep pieces of flesh from him, his bloated body, and I turned and ran. I enjoyed it. No, I didn't. No. I reached the top of the stairs just as the creature's seemingly infinite reach wrapped around my ankle, and with all my might I pulled myself through the still open passageway to the cellar. The secret entrance within the wall. The 3 stone to face the sun. The creature's limb. It followed me, and so I closed the passageway, severing the creature. Blood a shade of crimson, red, I had never seen before, poured onto the earthen floor of the cellar, and the tendril moved for only a moment more before death, before the welcome embrace. I miss it. No. It will escape. It will consume all and make this world into a forest of its own design. It is only a matter of time. The means to close the portal lay within the black tome in the library, but I can already feel my mind breaking. I can see the trees. I can see the eyes. I have seen its face. I must. I cannot. I want to see it again. I have seen home. I will return to him.
And scribbled the last line in the bottom corner, you see the words 2 and then the Roman numeral 5 at the bottom of the page. And as you finish reading, Billy, you cast the lantern back up to see the man's hanging face, and it is dried and ancient, but nonetheless you see the grin plastered on his puckered face. And as you stand there, you hear movement beneath the floorboards. And we're going to end there for tonight. Which actually is kind of funny, because maybe this will work out well, because there is something else that I cut out that I'll just put back in. So next episode is going to be very combat heavy, and it is going to be very interesting.
Oh no!
I hate
Wonderful.
to have a combat heavy Call of Cthulhu game.
Yeah, we all do. But if you win, think about all the glory and joy that you're going to receive.
Right? Yeah. Not a thing. We're gonna burn this house down if we win, though.
Oh.
Burn the
Putting that
motherfucker
out there.
down. Fun fact. So I played Call of Cthulhu for many years. Obviously, as you can tell by my expertise of the rules. But when we used to play it around the table before any of this, I did one mission, a pre-written mission called The House on something or other. I don't know. But anyway, what they decided, no joke, is they burned it down. And one of the things about Call of Cthulhu that I love is like, yeah, that's fine. Okay. But then the thing that you're trying to kill is out now. And they ended up being like, we don't want to deal with this house and this spooky monster. And they burnt the thing down. And then the monster just came out and was like terrorizing the town. And they had to deal with that.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
And they were responsible for it, which was great.
That's
yeah.
That's like in Death House when if you burn Death House down in Barovia in Curse of Strahd, it just comes back.
Yeah.
You roll a dice to find out how many days it takes, but the house just rebuilds itself.
You
It's
can't
terrifying.
burn a death house. But unfortunately, we're sorry that we had to cut it a little short tonight because of the technical issues. But on the plus side, we're going to come back potentially next week with a third part where you get to see more of these characters, more of the story, more of this fun, which I'm having a blast. And what's more is we're going to see a lot more of these people, especially James. James is going to be joining us for games beyond this, which we're so excited about.
I'm so happy about this.
We're going to be diving into some crazy systems, some end of the world. We're going to do
Billy
Billy
time.
learns how to drift. Billy invents drifting.
Billy invents drift.
So I've already decided it's going to be like a time hopping adventure, where like someone's like, Billy, you have to invent drifting. Come with me. And like Joe's going to play like Cleopatra.
Benjamin Franklin.
Franklin. And like
that's great.
You're going to be hot time skipping. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. So excited.
They're all gonna
I
have
can't
the
wait.
same voice.
I can't wait for when we start and then you reveal that I'm not playing Billy.
No, you're not. Oh, was that? Sorry, I'm Billy, and you're
Yes!
playing Benjamin Franklin. No.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's it for tonight. We're going to end it early again. Joe works early tomorrow, but we will be back next week, potentially. If you guys are in next week, let me know. For part 3 of Call of Cthulhu. Again, thank you so much to Liz, Mike, and James for gaming with us. Wonderful job, guys. I will cut this into a semblance of an actual episode. And from all of us here, as my gal Joe always likes to say...
It's my bedtime.
It's my bedtime, guys. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Not everybody.
Good night.